Hi there and welcome back to this video. In this video, I am going to teach you how to use lead pages and in particular Leaboxes. Now, this is a program where you can create landing pages and opt-in forms. And opt-in forms are called Leaboxes in this program. Now, it's a super sophisticated program that you can use to create beautiful looking opt-in forms and opt-in form pop-ups, which are great to gain subscribers and kind of build your list of subscribers of your blog. So once you have created your opt-in form, this is the Leadbox, you connect this to your email marketing service where all your subscriber emails are stored. So let's do this and let's create our first opt-in form / Leadbox. So once you are in the program, you go to Leadboxes here and create a new Leadbox. So how do you want to call your Leadbox? So let's call this BB Leadbox example. Now, Leadboxes in general look like this. And all the things that you can see, you can customize to make it look as you want it to look like and that it matches your blog layout and the design of your blog and branding. So these are the things that you could include in your Leadbox here. You could include headlines, text, buttons, countdowns, images, video, HTML code. So if you really want to go all out, icons, checkouts, if you're, for example, having an online store, and calendar, comments, so whatsoever. This is how you can change your Leadboxes the way you want it to look like. So, for example, we want to change the text of this title. So you can see when you click on this section, it kind of makes it blue and you have these different options. So, for example, you could delete this altogether, you could move it around, you could duplicate it, or you could edit it. So if you want to edit the text of this title, you go to the pencil thing and you can now edit the text. So maybe we want someone to subscribe to our blog while getting a freebie. So maybe we want to call this Get Our Free Guide Now. But maybe we want to have a different font or a different size. In order for you to do that, you always mark the things that you want to edit. So maybe you want to mark the whole text and change maybe the font or how big it is. Is it a subheading? Is it a headline? Or what kind of font you want to have? The size of it. Maybe you want to make it bigger. Maybe you want to change the spacing. Or maybe you want to have a specific font such as Georgia. Now, maybe you just want to edit the now. Then you just mark this section. You can also change the color here. So for example, we want to make it red. So get our free guide now. So maybe you want to change the image, or maybe you want to add another text here below this. You can just go and choose what you want to edit and just drag and drop that down. So maybe you want to have get your free guide, and here you want to say what this guide is all about with bullet points here. This will be about 1, 2, 3. Something like that. So you can always like drag and drop everything and just move it around here. Maybe you want to add another picture in between, or maybe you think, oh, now it's getting too big and you want to delete that. Just click here and delete. Now, maybe we don't need that. So let's delete that as well. So maybe we have created a guide on how to brand your blog. You can edit this image here by clicking on this image sign and upload your own image. So you can go and select and choose it from your desktop. So maybe this one. And then you can click insert. So you can see now this is our 7-step guide to branding your blog, and they would get this free resource if they give you your email address and name. We also have the get started button, and maybe this branding of blue is not as your blog. So you could again change it here and adapt it to the color that maybe you wanted, maybe pink. Looks nice with the branding of, for example, here, your image. So now the most important part of the whole form is this box here. It is where people can give you their information and you subscribe them to your blog. Now in this form, you see its email address, first name, and then additional input factors. Now also this form connects your form, here this builder, with your email marketing service. So when you add this form, there are additional factors that you can change and switch up. So let's do this. So if we click on it, you can see that the first part is the integration part. So this means with which email marketing service do you want to connect your lead page or lead box with? So for example, ConvertKit or MailChimp. Now every time someone subscribes here and gives you their information, this information will be stored with your email marketing service that you have connected. So you can see here that we have lead notifications. Now lead notifications are additional emails which are sent to your own inbox telling you that someone has subscribed to your blog. But this email doesn't store anything for you. So that's just the email sent to you to notify you that someone has subscribed. But you also want to add this person to your email marketing service, right? So you want to add an integration here. Now, Leadpages makes this really easy to connect to the big players in email marketing. Now you can add here more services if you, for example, have another email marketing service. And it's really super easy to do that. But for example, let's do this with MailChimp. You can select here a list that you have created. So for example, blog subscribers. So every time someone gives you their email address and name, they will be added to that specific email list within MailChimp. So for example, let's here choose the Katie Grazer email list. So every time someone opts into this particular form, you receive a notification via email that this person has subscribed, plus this person is added to that specific list within MailChimp. Now, this is just the integration part of this field. You can also customize the different input factors that you want to have. So how much information do you want from your subscribers to subscribe to your list? So email address obviously is mandatory. You can see it here with this little lock, but then the rest you can decide on your own. So for example, I personally don't need the phone number of my subscribers. So I will delete that information, and you can see that it took it out here. But I still want like the first name, and you can add fields such as city, comments, street address, and consent buttons, and so on. So that's kind of a cool thing to really customize your forms to whatever information you want to get from your subscribers. Now, in this last field, in the action field, you kind of want to decide what happens after they have given you their information and subscribed to your blog. So maybe you want to send them to a default landing page where you want to say thank you to them. Now, this is really cool because you could include another opt-in form, as we will discuss in like the GDPR section of our course. Within GDPR, people can receive your freebie without subscribing to your blog. So you could send them to a thank you page where they could give you their email address again, subscribing to your newsletter, and then they would be GDPR compliant because they have given you express consent. Well, we are talking about this a lot in Unit 6. So you could send them to a default landing page. You could lead them to another lead page and different URL or whatsoever. And also here you want to add your lead magnet. So they want to get their free guide here. So you want to add that PDF that you created or whatever to this particular form. So every time someone gives their information here, an email is automatically sent to them with the PDF. So you don't have to do this manually. It's all done automatically. So you can here add a lead magnet choosing that specific PDF that you've created or whatever you want to send to them. And then you can press save and close. Now, once we're happy with how our lead box or opt-in form is looking, we have different publish options. So we press publish, and you can see here that it gives us different kinds of options how we can display that lead box within your blog post. So you can see that the first option is a plain text link. So it would just be click here to subscribe, and that will be a link. So you could get the code for this and insert this code into your HTML function of your post, and it would be a plain text link. You could also even include a button, which is personally my favorite way of doing it. So you could customize the button. So for example, get the free guide now. And you could even like edit this to make it like your brand colors. And people love to click on buttons, so that's definitely a great way of doing it. You could also include like an image, and once someone presses the image of, for example, that freebie, a lead box would pop up and they could subscribe there. You could also do a timed pop-up, so maybe after someone has been on your blog for 5 minutes, you could put a timed pop-up up where they could subscribe. Or you could even do a lead box when visitors are about to leave your page, and before they leave, this pop-up kind of comes. Now, I want to show you how to include the button, because personally it's one of my favorite options that we have. So we have customized our button here and we get the code. So this is the code that will insert our button into our post that we have written in WordPress. So we want to copy that code and go to the blog post in WordPress that we have written about that topic. So we have maybe written a blog post about 7 branding tips for blog awareness, and we want to add our free guide of branding to that blog post. So maybe it makes sense to add this button after the first kind of couple of paragraphs. So we switch from the visual mode to the text mode where we can change our HTML code. And you can see we are here. And once we've switched, we can copy paste this code. You can see it's the same code that I have from here. And kind of just copy paste this. That's really all you need to do, and go back to visual. Now you can see it added this button to our blog post. So now we want to save that draft and preview our post. So how is this looking now within our blog post? So you can see here that it has added this button to our blog post. But we have actually created a lead box, an opt-in form. So once someone clicks on that button, that pop-up comes up, which is super cool. And people love that because it looks so professional. And I just love it so much because you can totally customize pop-ups, which makes all the difference. So let's run you through this example of how it works and comes all together. So someone comes to your blog, reads your amazing post on how to create branding for your blog and awareness, and he or she wants to get that free guide that you've created. So she clicks on that button, the pop-up comes, the lead box, the opt-in form comes up, and she gives you his or her information. So for example, that's my information and I want to get started and receive the email. So what happens now? When I click get started, her information will be saved at MailChimp, my email marketing service. Now I will also receive a notification within my inbox that someone has subscribed to my blog. And MailChimp will automatically send him or her the free guide that you have attached to this form. So the freebie will be sent automatically. So basically you don't have to worry about anything. It's all done. So you see, this is a super, super cool feature. I've also created a video on how you can create opt-in forms with ConvertKit. If you haven't seen that, go and check that out as well. So I just want to give you different options of how you can create opt-in forms for your blog. So I really hope this video was helpful, and I will see you in the next chapter. Bye guys!